This year saw a change to the traditional event. Extra disciplines such as mountain biking, kayaking and orienteering were added to the competition, moving the focus away from the vehicle. The rain, which has fallen during the opening ceremony, gradually disappears as the teams pick up speed. Their destination, an ancient gathering point for the Mongolian people, a sacred spot whose history is lost in the mists of time, Turtle Rock.
Behind the celebrations, each competitor knows how tough conditions will be. The beauty of Mongolia is unforgiving to the unprepared. The opening section of the competitors' journey takes them out onto the vast steppes, rolling grasslands which reach to the horizon. On the way, they attract many curious glances from Mongolians unused to such colourful machinery passing by. Luckily for the competitors, many of them know how to read a map.
That's about one.
Once they've been pointed in the right direction, they can be on their way. There's more to Camel Trophy than driving. Mountain biking is just one of the new competitions for '97, and one which the difficult terrain of Mongolia is ideally suited for. The hills and woodland provide a real challenge to even the fittest, and already a few of the competitors are finding the going a little tougher than they'd imagined. No sooner has one competition ended than a new one begins, this time kayaking, on the rocky whitewater streams filled with freezing mountain waters. More exercise for the lungs comes with orienteering, for many of the teams rated the hardest of all the competitions because of the mixture of exercise coupled with concentration. The technical driving test involves negotiating a difficult course of tight turns and steep slopes, whilst avoiding picking up any penalties. Two teams are about to find out that too much haste can lead to costly errors. It's tempting to put your foot down on the accelerator, but not a good idea.
Yeah, priority guys, listen in. Nick, they're both okay with it.
He drive very fast and left turn and he down the hill.
Are you okay?
Okay. Oh, yeah, only running can show him the way.
Forewarned should have been forearmed, but taking an even bigger tumble, the Greek team follow the Russians.
Is that it? No, fine.
Can you attend over?
Bad luck.
It's soon time to move on though. With so much distance to cover, the days pass quickly. Time isn't the most important thing. The Land Rover Award involves getting from one point of the map to another, choosing the best available route. That means matching the distance set by Mark Day, the route coordinator.
How you doing? Fine. Whoa, not bad.
The aim of this exercise is basically to match the ideal distance set by event management.
At the end of the Land Rover Award, it's all about who has got the ideal distance.
What have you got? 1:54.53. Top cool, boys. Top cool.
The changing terrain is fun to drive through and tests both the wheel clearance and windscreen wipers of the competitors' vehicles. For much of their day, the vehicles are driving through a barren landscape, with few signs of others passing before them, except ovus, shrines ensuring good luck situated on the top of mountain passes. No matter how dry some areas of the country are, in the wet, the teams find they often have to help each other out of some difficult situations. They soon learn that the winches on the front of their Land Rover Discoveries have a practical purpose. Even so, sometimes it's a case of everyone lending a hand. The Mongolians often seem to drive by every bit of trouble. For hours on end, the teams journey through the Mongolian landscape, sometimes peering out through windscreens covered with melting snowflakes, sometimes choosing the best line to take through swollen rivers. One place where the weather can be guaranteed hot and sunny is the Gobi Desert. Home to many rare and exotic species, the Gobi has long been used as a shorthand phrase for the unknown. The teams know they are 3/4 of the way through their journey, yet they can't afford to relax their efforts. In this flat and barren wasteland, they need to concentrate harder than ever on their route, relying on their onboard global positioning system and old-fashioned map reading skills. The results of the Land Rover Award are announced when the teams arrive at the competition site, and it's Romania's turn to enjoy being the centre of attention.
For the team from Romania.
The driving competition isn't over though, and in the Gobi the teams have to make sure they find exact points in the desert hundreds of yards apart. Swerving between flags without touching them isn't easy when you're trying to make time. The competition also makes sure that both team members get a chance to drive. And the competitors have to follow all the rules, such as making sure they have their seatbelts on at all times. It was the Austrian pair of Stefan Euer and Albrecht Teusing who took Camel Trophy Mongolia 97. The secret of success?
Relaxing, take it easy, no mistakes, good points. Yeah. We won it.
1998 was the last year of Land Rover's involvement in the trophy. The competition had become diluted, and the focus on four-wheel driving was not so much a major part of the competition as in previous years. The 20 teams will rely on their new Freelanders to take them over 5,000 kilometers from Santiago, the capital of Chile, down to Ushuaia, Argentina, the most southerly city in the world. Ahead of them lies 3 weeks of adventure.
The snow-covered mountains towering above Santiago provide the venue for the official start. The 37 yellow Freelanders join together to form an international convoy up to the ski resort of Valle Nevado.
The rules of Camel Trophy this year are that you drive to a discovery location using the vehicle and the GPS. And once you're there, you then use one of the 4 disciplines to get onto the adventure locations.
We spin it until it interlocks, and you'll get a code.
Good, so we can prove that we've been here.
The score is 10 points. This year, Camel Trophy is a mental challenge as well as a physical challenge.
As the morning mist lifted, the first day of Camel Trophy got underway. This year, each team has 2 vehicles. The team's Freelander is followed by the Defender 110, which carries all the equipment. Chile and Argentina boast some of the most breathtaking scenery in the world. It's a spectacular location for the first Snow and Ice Camel Trophy. Where better to test out the Freelander and introduce Andean sports?
Yes, I guess we're coming close, Memo. You hear the waterfall? Yeah, we got it. Here we are, Team Turkey, huh?
This may seem an obscure place to look for a discovery point, but en route from Santiago to Ushuaia, there are 224 plates hidden on anything from rocks and trees to shipwrecks. It takes teamwork and good navigational skills to find them. The landscape in Stage 2 is stunning. It is also anything but predictable. The sub-zero temperatures and thick snow enhance the scenery, but they do nothing to help the competitors. Undeterred, the Camel Trophy teams will overcome any obstacles thrown in their path. Along the way, the competitors take time out to enjoy what nature has to offer. So far, the teams have driven through a kaleidoscope of landscapes, from volcanoes and glaciers to pampas and waterfalls. Now the pull of the Atlantic Ocean is too much for some to ignore.
It's called because there are lobos, seal wolves.
At this stage, the teams have already driven halfway to Ushuaia.
Stuck.
Snow is too high over there.